I want to say this to you, Quincy, because I know that your mother was protecting you not only from Al, which is your father and he loved you, it was for what he would have done or Puff would have done to him.
Being the sons of music mogul Diddy might seem like a ticket to endless glamour, but for Quincy and Christian Combs, it comes with unique challenges. One standout is Diddy's Bodyguard, a towering wall of muscle who resembles a superhero's henchman more than a typical security detail. His imposing presence ensures their safety, but also adds a layer of pressure to their already high-profile lives.
One of his sons might take it. Oh, that was me. Oh, Christian might take it. Christian want to be a gangster. He a gangster, right? He might take it.
Yeah, I mean, if they some real ones, they'll take it. I mean, you see everything your dad is going through right now. Well, why not, take that charge?
Those wasn't my dad's. Those was mine. All they gonna get is a 3 to 5. 85%.
But you being somebody, right, that was cool with Diddy at one point, you don't feel a little bit bad for him?
My man, how do you feel sorry for a man that had everything material that any man could ever want? How do you feel sorry for a man could go any place any man would want to travel in the world? How do you feel sorry?
What up? How you living? Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. Alright. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Did you reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting. I just motherfucker doing. He's tweeting out because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah, sir. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh. About all these lawsuits though, Bob. Ain't none of them getting shit. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. But for money hungry.
Diddy's extravagant lifestyle demands top-tier protection, and his bodyguard fits the bill perfectly, a towering, no-nonsense figure with an unyielding sense of duty. However, it seems Diddy's son often finds himself in the crosshairs of this intense vigilance. But why does this bodyguard make him appear as if he's constantly walking on eggshells? Is it purely the overwhelming intimidation factor, or is there more beneath the surface? Let's uncover what's really going on, as there's more than just a father-son dynamic at play here.
Don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do.
You've been to some crazy parties, I'm sure. What's the strangest interaction you've had at a party that is like, what's happening right now?
I remember I was lit and I just started dancing with Paris Hilton. I was like, this is kind of crazy.
That is kind of nuts. What song was playing?
I don't even know. It was one of those nights.
Yeah, okay, all right.
When it comes to Christian Combs, it's impossible to ignore the elephant in the room. He's inherited much of his father's swagger and flair for controversy. While Christian enjoys the privilege of living in Diddy's luxurious world, he's also picked up some of his dad's less polished traits. Among them is a knack for grabbing headlines, sometimes for reasons that aren't exactly flattering. It's a double-edged sword that comes with carrying Diddy's legacy.
Was you just fighting people in the club?
No, I was being the better person in the club, and I want to always be the better person, and I want to start practicing being an advocate for mentorship programs for entrepreneurs that's making money. That's
You just fighting in the club, yes or no? I don't want.
no. We didn't have a fight. We had a big argument right outside the club.
And who started it?
This time, I think I got loud and got aggressive, but it was the third time it's happened. And so I felt like I needed to like stand up for myself. Even though I was talking shit and we was having a lot of crazy words, I was walking that way to avoid the issue. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what happened. And it's unfortunate, but what's dope is that we all got on the phone. We talked for about 35 minutes.
You that.
And I'm letting you know this, brother. That's your pops. Make it good with your pops, bro. Make it good with your pops. Because you are a part of him.
How you feel about it personally?
I feel that Kim knew that he wanted to love on his son. And she kept Al away from Quincy because of Puff, and I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. Other than that, for some strange reason, Puff always want to claim something that ain't his. I just think that it's a lot of brainwashing that went on.
Take the infamous 2015 Uckler altercation involving Justin Combs, another of Diddy's sons. Justin, a football player at the time, faced tough criticism from a coach, a move that didn't sit well with Diddy. Never one to back down, Diddy stormed in, fueled by the fury of a protective dad convinced his son deserved better. The confrontation quickly escalated, resulting in an incident so intense that Diddy faced charges of misconduct, cementing the moment in tabloid history.
Some people feel like, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. Him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. A lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you going to go outside your own compound where TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not going to get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not going to get no sympathy. You're done. Stick a in it. Call it a quit. Apologize to Big's mother for putting her son in that position that he loses his life.
Is Diddy going to jail?
I think that the easiest thing to do is to get somebody on some money laundering. Did he have over 18 companies that he was dealing with? He put every business in his children's name or his mother's name. I don't think any of those businesses are straight into his name. So there's got to be some shadiness going on somewhere. The government wouldn't ask for all the IRS papers, all the tax papers for the last 3 years of any of his companies if they didn't think something was going on. So if he doesn't go for any of the assaults or something like that, it may be something having to do with tax evasion, money laundering, or something like that. Or maybe even drugs or something.
Now, consider how this environment shapes Quincy. Imagine growing up knowing your dad might confront anyone who crosses you and being constantly shadowed by a bodyguard ready to neutralize any threat. It's no wonder Quincy might feel a constant undercurrent of fear. Such an intense, high-stakes atmosphere would leave anyone on edge.
I think that, he brainwashed those kids, and that's what narcissists and people of his caliber do to a lot of people around him. I feel like Quincy was brainwashed. I feel like Justin, the rest of them. Justin was too. Justin's mother was real strict. Misa was real strict with Justin. I think when he got with Puff, he got brainwashed.
So what would make him do what he did to Albie Shore? If them two was cool, why would he take his girl like that?
It's a power thing. We used to be in situations, I told you, remember me and you had the discussion about, like, he wanted every girl that Pac ever had. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds gonna take their time. May take 6 months, may take a year, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They're going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming out. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was wilding out, man.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government going to run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York. But they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, you know, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Combs' comments.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years. And I had the opportunity to see Hyder.
It's not just the bodyguard's physical presence that looms large. He symbolizes something much deeper, a constant reminder of the world Quincy was born into. While most of us fret over everyday worries like losing car keys, Quincy navigates a life shaped by fame, where trust is rare, enemies are everywhere, and privacy doesn't exist. For Diddy, the bodyguard is essential, a protector of his vast empire. But for Quincy, he's more like a 24/7 chaperone, an ever-present figure who embodies the pressures of living in the public eye and looks ready to step into a boxing ring at a moment's notice.
But you heard about the guns they found at Diddy house with no serial numbers?
I think that's going to be hard to prove that they're his weapons. They're going to have to prove that they was his weapons because he had other grown people living in there. And plus, that house, I believe, was in a corporation name. So they're going to have to get maids, butlers, cleaning people, or somebody that's in that house to have a daily contact to say that was his room that they found those weapons in. And then the weapons wasn't operable. You had to put them together, as far as I know, for them to be operable. So he may have had weapons there, or he may not. One of his sons, he got sons. Somebody's going to have to claim it. They just put it on him. Anything they found in the house, they just put it on him. But they had to prove that that was him. If other people were living in the house, other people had access to that room that they found the weapons in.
Let's not forget Christian Combs' own brushes with controversy in recent years. Known for his extravagant lifestyle, flashy cars, lavish vacations, and designer everything, he's often criticized for living off his father's success. While Diddy's immense wealth makes this lifestyle possible, it also places Christian under public scrutiny. Critics are quick to accuse him of riding his dad's coattails, and some might argue that the bodyguard's intimidating presence isn't just for Diddy, it's for Christian too. After all, a high-profile son with a penchant for flaunting his privilege doesn't exactly go unnoticed, making security a necessity rather than a luxury.
His son now is being sued for assault, and the alleged victim claims she has audio recordings of him forcing himself on her during a yacht party.
Actually,
did you check that out?
Yeah, I was listening to, if you don't mind me saying, Just Tales. And she said that she was going through the whole lawsuit. And in the lawsuit, it stated that he was recording a song. And the guy, Little Rob, had it in the recording that the girl was actually fighting him off her, and he was trying to make her drink some tequila, and she said, "What's in it? Is anything in it?" And he was trying to fondle on her or whatever like that during the time. And Lil Rob picked that up at the recording. So she's a part of the lawsuit.
Christian similarities to Diddy extend far beyond the flashy lifestyle. Like his father, he has a talent for stirring the pot, whether it's flaunting his wealth on social media or getting involved in public disputes. It's clear that Christian has inherited the Combs family flair for drama. But here's where it gets interesting. Diddy's bodyguard isn't just there to protect the family from outside threats, he's also tasked with maintaining order within. For someone like Christian, who thrives on living large and making bold statements, the presence of a bodyguard who embodies a strict, no-nonsense policy likely feels more like a constant restraint than a source of comfort or security.
Like father, like son. You heard me?
Bro, that's so... Oh my God, yes, I heard you, man.
That's wrong, huh?
Man, bro. Sheesh, man. I mean, gosh.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. I mean, you know, she's alleging that she had to fight him off several times. Mm-hmm. You know, and she suspected that the tequila was spiked.
Right.
A lot of lawsuits. Do you suspect more lawsuits are coming?
Well, see, the thing about it is, what people don't understand is that there's people that have stuff on Diddy from way back that lawyers would not fight it or take it. But now Cassie opened up those doors. I heard that there's a guy that's going way back and say that he put on
Diddy's
a Sean
bodyguard
John
isn't
shirt
just
and he
physically
tried to molest him.
imposing.
So
He's a
taking
commanding
this shit to
presence.
court.
Whether standing in a party corner or walking through a crowd, he exudes an energy that clearly says, "Don't even think about it." For Christian, trying to carve out his own identity while living under his father's colossal shadow, this vibe can feel less like protection and more like a constant reminder that every move he makes is being watched, by more than just the paparazzi. It's as if he's always under surveillance, with his bodyguard serving as an ever-present symbol of his father's influence and the high-profile life he's inherited.
When Puffy was taking phones, that showed me right there he didn't trust Q. Because he said, "Nigga, I know you got 2 phones. Give me your second phone as well." That's somebody you don't trust when you call them out like that. You call your own son out to be like, "Where's your second phone? You got 2 phones. Give me that. You ain't taking that second phone to this party either."
Even in seemingly normal moments, the bodyguard's presence creates tension. Imagine Christian inviting friends over, only for them to be greeted by a man who looks like he's training for the apocalypse. Or picture Christian trying to enjoy a night out, only to have the bodyguard silently scanning the room as if expecting a threat. For someone already navigating the pressures of fame and family legacy, this constant level of scrutiny can feel overwhelming, like every moment is under magnifying glass.
They better slow down. They got to understand their daddy is fighting for his life. And it's better to fight for your life on the streets than it is behind bars. And so everything that they're doing right now is jeopardizing their daddy's freedom, if they really care about him. I kind of wonder if they really care about him, because I have seen some articles recently online where it appears that the one that waxed in that they saw with that likes to fuck on transgenders and all of that, Christian, is trying to fight the mother now over some, say over who's in charge of making the decisions, which is funny, which I think is just somebody that wanted to write an article because Puffy is still have the ability to do that. Now, the good thing about it, if Puffy was on life support or something like that, then that may be an issue. Puffy is still able to talk and make those decisions, which I think he better get in line real quick and decide who he's going to have in charge. Because you don't want your 80-something-year-old mother, y'all would say, his 80-something-year-old auntie, but hey, if he called her his mama, that's his mama. I don't even know why y'all even saying that.
Let's not forget the father-son dynamic at play here. Diddy is known for running his empire with precision and control, and it's clear he expects the same from his kids. The bodyguard isn't just there to ward off physical threats. He's also a symbol of Diddy's expectations, discipline, loyalty, and the ability to handle the immense pressure of being a Combs. For Quincy, who's no stranger to living it up and occasionally stepping out of line, this constant oversight probably feels like being under a microscope 24/7, with little room to breathe or slip up.
Diddy told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do with what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. And she only had one child with Christopher. The other children who required taking care of and feeding and all of that, all of them couldn't be fed off of Christopher Wallace's money. They weren't his kids. See how that works?
Is Quincy truly terrified of the bodyguard? Probably not in the classic sense, but it's clear the bodyguard represents more than just physical protection. He's a symbol of Diddy's power, control, and the impossible standards that come with being part of one of the world's most famous families. For Quincy, that's a heavy burden, something to live up to and, at times, something hard to bear, as it constantly looms over his every move.